Hello. Not a story here. I'll tell some more stories coming up. Um, St. Patrick's Day is today, March 17th. Somebody told me, and I should have known better, that it was Saturday. So I did all these Irish music, put them on here, Saturday, March 14th. Well, I'll learn, I suppose. I thought it was the 17th, but so much going on lately. The coronavirus. Hopefully look forward to the day to come when I watch this video and it's just this whole corona thing is just history. I think I learned a couple of lessons already, and here it is, March 17th. I live in a small town in central New York, and that virus is making its way through the state, and that's what they do. Really, that's what viruses do. It's the flu season. It's not a flu, it's a corona, but the news, I'm sure it's affecting wherever you're at, even if you're in another country. The news is so depressing. It's really starting to wear on me. And in my town, in my area, and I think probably everywhere, what's really bumming me out, along with the news, is people hoarding things. You think people will pull together, and some people do. But then there's those that don't. And I always say, the cowards that start the stampede. And in a way, I'm laughing at it because I really wasn't worried about it, too much. I figured it's just another really bad flu that they come around, they kill a few people, they make a lot of people sick, and then they just eventually fade out. It's causing a lot of problems, and my heart and prayers go out for people in Italy and Spain and other parts of the world, as well as my own state in New York City. It's hit pretty hard, and I imagine it'll probably make its way up to my small little town. It pretty much is. Well, a couple things I wanted to talk about and try to let us encourage one another, right? Especially in times like these. This thing's really weighed heavily upon me because I'm a news junkie. And it's not that I'm so much afraid of for myself. I've got a mother in a nursing home that right now it's locked down. I can't go see her. And that's all nursing homes in New York State. And it's for the better, I know, but it's troublesome. And then watch people looting. Hoarding. I've never seen anything like it. In my area, it's the women. They go for the TP, the toilet paper. I call this the TP virus. TP zombie virus. That's what I call it. Trying to make light of something. But they wipe out the toilet paper. And nobody can get toilet paper. Because when this thing first hit, at this date, March 17th, in my little neck of the state of New York, it was about a week ago when folks started realizing this is serious. And people started thinking, oh my God. And the first thing they went for was the toilet paper. Well, this ties into what I wanted to talk about. A lot of people freaking out because they can't get toilet paper. So I'm in the store today, and this woman's in front of me, middle-aged woman, and she's got a shopping cart. And I know that this particular store was completely cleaned out of toilet paper, and this little town that I live in, population 2,500, something like that, a lot of people didn't have toilet paper because people were hoarding it. So they finally got toilet paper in to this store today. I think this poor village went without toilet paper for about 3 or 4 days. Not my household, but at any rate, I'm standing behind this woman. Keeping my distance, trying to social, what do they call it, social distancing. But I got to admit, I'm looking at her, she's checking out in front of me at the checkout counter, and she's got a shopping cart with these big bundles, like 12-pack bundles of toilet paper. And I think you couldn't cram more onto that shopping cart. I think she took everything they had. It looked like it'd be about 7 or 8 bundles. Hold on. This isn't TV, but like bundles, this is paper towels. The bundles like this size, bigger, loaded right up, right to the gills. Loaded to the gunnels, that cart was. And I've got to admit, I was looking at her kind of like if you were her, the back of her, because that's what I'm looking at. And she had toilet paper piled high off the top of the cart. Toilet paper crammed every way you could get it underneath the cart. This is how I'm looking at her. I'm like, wow, you know? And she finally checks out, and I know the woman at the checkout counter. And I said to her, "Guy, you wonder where all the toilet paper goes? I think she cleaned this place out." And the woman says, "Yep." And we're both kind of feeling the same way, you know, like distasteful. And the woman said, "Well, I said something to the effect that I thought that was pretty crappy. No pun intended. Something to that effect. And, or people like her, something like that. You know, things I shouldn't say about people." And the checkout woman said, "Yeah, I thought the same exact thing. But she told me she was buying this for like several different families that were out." Then it kaboom hit me. And the woman did look embarrassed standing up there. And I thought, right? She says, "Yeah, I felt the same way as you did till she told me that." And then I understood. And I said, "Right? Judge not that would be not judged." And the woman said, "That's right," the checkout woman. And I said, "Well, you know, you learn something every day." And I didn't really feel bad. I felt like I just learned a lesson that I need to keep relearning. And so that, just the problems we're having of people coming from the city, and I'm told busloads of people coming out because they can't get, everybody's freaking out. They're trying to stock up, you know. They're thinking that we might be quarantined, locked down, and it might be right. So everybody's understandably getting panicky about where they're going to get all their food from. And all that. Like, relax. Everybody relax. Well, I'm stuffing my cart full of things. Right. So this had me down, right? This whole situation's got me depressed, not frightened. I've been really sick before, and personally, I see this as it's the flu season. This is just the latest Johnny-come-lately really bad flu bug, you know, like SARS or something like that. You call it whatever you want. I remember in 2010, a bug came through this area, New York State, and other parts of this country, and it was killing people, young and old. And I got it, and I was so sick, I couldn't get out of bed. I had to crawl to the refrigerator. I lived alone. I had to crawl to, I guess it was more like 2008. I had to crawl to the bathroom, crawl to the refrigerator, then back to the couch. I was on 2 weeks before I could actually get up and get about. I recall being so sick once that I couldn't even get out of bed with a fever. I had strep throat, as it would turn out. But I recall in 2004, the usual flu came through the area, and it was making a lot of people really sick. And my father died. That's the one he died of. He didn't know he had lung cancer. He got pneumonia in the hospital. He was 86 years old. And unknown to him, he had lung cancer, probably from loading asbestos in Brooklyn on the shipyards right before World War II. My point is that these things come and go. And for some reason, this one's pretty bad. It's kind of worldwide. I'm not downplaying it, but it's like man, just get through it. Our ancestors, this happened to them almost every year. They'd have a epidemic sweep through or famine. It's just part of the human experience. And we all need to pull together. And people like me I need to have more understanding with people. So what got to me today? The crux of this whole talk. I woke up this morning depressed. And I always wake up and I pick up my phone and I read the news on my phone like most of us do anymore. And it's all doom and gloom, doom and gloom, doom and gloom. That's just depressing. It makes me not even want to read the news. Well, I picked it up and I saw something popped up, and it was on social media. And it was a picture of a tomb with the rock rolled away. And it said, "He has risen." And wow, what a blast of sunshine that was into these dim windows here. Just lit me up inside. He has risen. Jesus Christ has risen. We don't need to be afraid of anything. We don't need to be afraid. He took it for us on the cross in a horrible way, died, and was risen. And we don't need to be afraid. Because the morning will come when that boulder's rolled away and he's risen. So, in a way, what good timing for this coronavirus to hit right around Easter season. So remember that when you get down about the news that he is risen for you and me. And so, I don't know, that meant a lot to me. So I just wanted to share that. And I wanted to wish you all the best and a happy Easter season too. And I guess today's St. Patrick's Day. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Maybe I'll do another song, torture you with another song, actually on St. Patrick's Day, or night at this point in New York. And I've got another story. I made the story. It's a vampire story. Story 34, I'll put that out eventually. It's pretty wild. But I wanted to say something with the times that are going on. I guess I just felt like sharing this with somebody. And let us take courage. God didn't give us a spirit of fear. And I know I get depressed. I get this thing really bugs me. It's really bugging me for some reason. The news, I think it's the news. And the way people are acting really discouraged. I'm kind of very shocked at Americans. Like, God, what happens if something really happens, like World War II, Pearl Harbor, and this country all pulled together, 9/11, we all pulled together. We dropped all our differences, we pulled together. Will we do that now? I'm not seeing evidence of that. But as Christians, let us encourage each other and take courage yourself, and you're going to get through this one way or the other. And he is risen. Happy Easter and happy St. Patrick's Day. Thank you.